Hello, I am Marcia Coleman with Noshri Libertas. Today is March 13th, 2020, and this is an energy update from Spirit. I am doing a video reading today, my first video reading, and bear with me as I keep checking to make sure it's recording. This is my, I believe, 24th attempt at keeping this going, so we will hope that because I got toilet paper stuck to my foot right before this one, that this is the ringer-dinger winner. Anywho, Spirit woke me up this morning to talk about two intersecting or interwoven timelines that we are currently experiencing as a collective consciousness. And the words that Spirit used to describe these timelines are the Honeycomb and the Prism prison house or house of mirrors timeline. And these differentiate in the fact that they are overlaid on top of each other. And so in one moment we might feel like we're in one, and another moment we might feel like we're in the other. And it could make us feel like our boat's getting rocked pretty severely. And it can be very overwhelming because the Prism house timeline is fueled by fear and anxiety. And it's a lot of shadows and fear coming up to confront. And it's very, very overwhelming. However, it is supported in a foundation of what Spirit is calling the Honeycomb timeline. And that is one of community, brightness, personal power, and heart healing with joy. And when Spirit says personal power, what Spirit's referring to is our unique talents and gifts that are going to be called forth through necessity that help to create this grid of light that Spirit is calling the Honeycomb. And this is a new society built on compassion. It's using sacred geometry, so it's aligned energetically with the divine plan, similarly to some of the civilizations of old. We can take a look at the Egyptian pyramids and notice that they are still lined up with the cosmos and were magnificent feats of architecture and still are. And Spirit assures me that what we will do with this timeline blows all of that out of the water. The thing to know right now is that the earth and the human are experiencing an upgrade to our immune system and our nervous system. Our immune system connects us to the Mother Spirit or Mother Earth, and our nervous system connects us to Spirit or what we would call the Father Spirit. And in order to keep our immune system strong, we need to keep our nervous system strong. And we do that through laughter, through connection, obviously social distancing as is appropriate. That's what the internet is here for. Fresh air, sunshine on our faces, and anything that we can do to just buoy our spirits and uplift our hearts at this time. It can be really challenging to do this, especially if we are someone who's in a compromised state right now. Spirit assures us that there are helpers everywhere right now, and to not be afraid to ask for help if you need it, that greatness will come through these connections. And so I'd like to get into a little bit of the cards that came up for this reading. The first is deep knowing, and you'll notice the owl and the moon, and the moon is our subconscious, and so we will see a lot of fears and a lot of emotions and a lot of boat rocking, both collectively and individually, as well as deceptions coming to light and shadows no longer being swept under the rug. And so there will be a lot of accountability in the coming decade because of this awakening. And part of this is listening to an intuition unlike we've ever had to listen to before. There's so much bombarding us psychically, and it's very difficult to discern what is true and what is false. And so we really have to deepen into ourselves at a much greater level to read between the lines and know what's true for our soul and how to act appropriately in each moment. And one of the beautiful things that comes out of this is that there are going to be some instantaneous soul connections that happen seemingly overnight. This card describes it as connected at a level impossible to describe. And so be open to those connections and know that a lot of those connections create the intersecting lines of the honeycomb. And so when we have hunches, we need to act on them right now because they lead to deep and profound transformation and abundance in time, energy, creativity, health, wealth. There's so many things that are available for us during this cosmic and earthly reset that we are currently experiencing. We are ready to emerge. We have been in a cocoon since 2000. Spirit tells me that 1999 was the last year of planet Earth as we knew it, or the old timeline, and that we have been transitioning. And we now have the wisdom to move forward. Interestingly, the butterfly, according to this card, comes from the Orion constellation. And Orion is often known for its polarity and its cruelty and its severity and its separation from God. And it's also known for its great magic and its intense power. And so we are learning to work with those archetypes right now, and we are learning to use that energy appropriately so that we are in service to the all and not just in service to ourselves. So this is a really challenging time to be alive, but it's also a really beautiful time to be alive. There are some really amazing things in store for us collectively. We will be oscillating back and forth between Honeycomb and the Prism house or House of Mirrors, and it's really just up to us to decide how we want to be during that process. And, it might feel like we're in a cage, and it might feel like we actually have some freedom of movement that we haven't experienced in a long time. And I'm just going to end it with this video. You probably won't even be able to hear it over my voice, but of the people singing in Italy across the street from each other from the windows. And it's just a very interesting time in history right now. And I am with you, and I'm here for you. And if anyone needs to chat, please don't hesitate to reach out. We are in this together, and it's going to be our connection to each other that changes the entire game. Be well, and until we meet again.